Hey, it's Frank here from DataDriven.tv, the podcast where we explore the emerging fields of data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. So the other day I was driving down Germantown Road here in Maryland, and I saw this out of the corner of my eye, this sign here. And for those of you not watching the video or the live feed, but basically it is a sign for Greg's Driving School. So out of the corner of my eye, I've been reading up a lot on taking the Udacity course on the MicroMasters on self-driving cars program, and whenever I see the word driving, I'm like, ooh, self-driving, and like that kind of triggered me, and that got me thinking, like, oh, it's a driving school. Oh, okay, not self-driving. But then that got me thinking that the impact of AI is going to be felt everywhere, and in places we really can't imagine yet. And here's one example that not to pick on poor Greg here, but if self-driving cars become mainstream, then so what happens to the people that run driving schools, right? What happens? This is for. I get the impression this is for kids learning to drive or adults learning to drive. But what happens to the commercial driver's license schools, which I know that's a pretty sizable business. And we can always, you hear a lot of hand-wringing and fear and loathing, if you will, about, what's going to happen to commercial truckers or that sort of thing. But it's the ancillary businesses that are going to feel the pain, maybe more. Certainly at least the same amount. But we're not going to think about that. If you think about people who run driving schools, there's going to be less of a need for those. But also truck stops, right? If I start having automated long-haul trucking, then the truck stop business essentially may not go out of business because there's always going to be a need to refuel, at least for the foreseeable future, whether that's diesel, gasoline, or electric. But there's certainly not going to be a need to have food vendors there. Certainly not going to be a need for, if you ever stop at a truck stop, they have showers, they have food, they have snacks. If people aren't going to be going through that on these, particularly these long haul routes, then they're going to be affected, as will driving schools. So today's April 1st. This is not an April Fool's joke. What actually is funny is I got my first computer today. On this day in 1984. It happened to be Easter Sunday, and it was a Commodore 64. And that machine launched a lot of careers, but it certainly launched mine. And I was actually interviewed not that long ago for a radio show called The Workforce Show, and we kind of talked about how do we get people prepared for what the future of work is. And, for me, it was noisy car. And for me, it was, having that computer and kind of figuring out math on my own. And that has served me very well decades later. And that was just kind of one of those things. And I think what got me into STEM, as they call it now, STEM was definitely not encouraged when I was a kid, was that I liked it. I wanted to write my own games. It became play, right? Figuring this stuff out was not, even though I was, 12 years old and doing trigonometry and, cosine, sine, stuff, way advanced math, even though I sucked at math and that they taught in school. The key was I was playing, right? Learning is play and play is learning. There's something to that. And if you look at how a lot of these RL algorithms work, there's something to that. And I think the focus in our education system of the teaching to the test is only going to come and bite us in a very bad place, probably sooner rather than later, honestly. But with that, not an April Fool, just an April thought. And if you run a driving school, it might now be a good time to start pondering what your next business is going to be, because AI is not coming directly at you, but you will be collateral damage. And with that, you have a great day.